The face of war, a plea for peace from the heart of Europe. Millions of people have been affected by the brutality of the war in Ukraine. Among the dead are civilians, relatives, and friends, many with families in Russia. In the shadow of history, a question is asked: can a country with power prevent more tragedies? War is not just about numbers and strategic decisions. It is people, children, mothers, fathers, who are affected by the game of power. Since February 2022, the conflict in Ukraine has claimed tens of thousands of lives. Data from the Uppsala Conflict Data Program shows that the war in Ukraine was the deadliest conflict in 2024, with around 76,000 deaths, many of them civilians. In neighboring Russia, there are families grieving for their relatives in Ukraine. The question that many may be asking themselves is, if the people had a choice, would they really want their president to wage war? History shows that leaders with total power often operate in a bubble, with advisors only giving the answers they think the leader wants to hear. The result is decisions that cost thousands of lives. Behind the power is a human being, shaped by childhood, experiences, and personal struggles. Some have found strength in martial arts or discipline, while others have been shaped by loss and difficult relationships. History is full of examples of how early experiences can influence decisions that change the world, for better or worse. But there is also a path to peace. History is full of opportunities that were never taken, countries that could have worked together, regions that could have been formed to prevent conflict. Today, we are seeing the consequences of what was not done. Conflict experts say the world is more complex than ever, with more wars and conflicts than ever before, even if the death toll is sometimes decreasing. But behind every statistic is a human being who should never have had to die. Imagine a future where Russia becomes a leading actor for peace, where decisions are made with courage and without reservation, where the world is structured so that fewer leaders rule, and where war and violence no longer define our time. That future requires courage. Courage to stop violence. Courage to put human life before power and prestige. The number of conflicts and wars was at a record high in 2024, according to the Uppsala Conflict Data Program, UCDP. A total of 61 active conflicts were registered, the highest number since measurements began in 1946. 11 of the conflicts are classified as wars. Violence against civilians has increased sharply, but the number of deaths has decreased slightly, to around 160,000 people. This is not about the world becoming more peaceful. We are seeing more wars and more conflicts than before, but with slightly fewer deaths than the exceptionally bloody year of 2022-2024. It is the fourth most violent year since the 1994 Rwandan genocide, says Sean Davies, senior analyst at UCDP. The war in Ukraine was the deadliest conflict in 2024, with around 76,000 deaths linked to fighting. Israel's wars in Gaza and against Hezbollah in Lebanon resulted in around 26,000 deaths, of whom 94% were civilians or of unknown identity. It has become increasingly difficult to determine who is a civilian and who is a member of armed groups, despite the improved information situation in many areas over the past 15 years. This is particularly challenging where the line between civilians and combatants is blurred, or where indiscriminate violence such as aerial bombing is used in densely populated areas, says Therese Pedersen, senior analyst at UCDP. My idea is that we should restructure the world's political system with fewer leaders, which could lead to fewer wars and less death. 6 regional presidents, 26 national presidents. The war in Ukraine shows us that power without thought can lead to disaster. But it also shows us that every leader has the opportunity to rewrite history, to stand on the right side of the future. Mr. President Putin, the world is waiting for courage. Courage to stop violence. Courage to put human life before power and prestige. Courage to show that Russia can be a leading actor for peace. The question is, do you have the courage to change history and lead your country towards a future without war? Settings: use appropriate media.